As the film begins, we see 4 friends. They were having dinner in a restaurant. Their group consisted of 3 boys and 1 girl. Mike is one of the boys. They were discussing how Halloween is approaching, so why not mistreat others? Mike claims that I will continue to bully Jacob. I'm going to torture him. In reality, Jacob was a young boy. Every year, Mike would tease him. When their female friend learns of their plan, she forbids them. That you should not tease others in this manner. Is it Jacob's fault that you tease him every year? According to Mike, your question has an answer. We tease him every year and have become accustomed to it. You have no idea how much fun it will be to tease him. That girl also prohibits her best friend, who was in the group. You are not going to do this. But when Mike refuses to obey her, she leaves. Then we notice Mike and his friend have eaten something. They then proceed to the manager to settle the bill. The manager informs them that Halloween is approaching. What are your Halloween plans? Mike informs him that we will severely torture a boy. We're going to have a great time. The manager is also interested. He says, I want to know. I want to see how you're going to torture him. Mike refuses, stating, no, this is my and my friend's plan. That manager has asked for him. Finally, Mike agrees to accompany him to torture Jacob. Please tell us who Jacob was. He was a mental child whose brain did not function properly. He couldn't think any further. He enjoys eating candies. His favorite candy is corn candy. He used to carry that candy around in a pumpkin basket. He attends a festival. He was essentially there as a worker. So, the festival's owner asks him to do the work hardly with his full effort. So, remember, don't engage in activities that could lead to our insult. The owner then announces that the show is about to begin, so get ready. But when Jacob went outside, Mike and his friends were waiting for him. They begin to tease him. But Jacob was tired of bearing all of this. In his defense, he pushes Mike, so he can't hurt him. However, Mike becomes aggressive. He begins severely beating him. His pals were also thrashing him. Jacob dies as a result of it. Mike's female friend was also witnessing all of this. She was nervous because she was standing there secretly. That is how they can take someone's life. When Mike and his friends return home, we see that they were not sorry that they had killed someone, because they claim it was Jacob's fault. Every year, we torture him and he bears our torment. But he pushed me this year to protect himself, so I'm not allowed to be angry that they were cruel. On the other hand, we see Mike's female friend feeling sorry for Jacob. When the festival's owner discovers that Jacob has been murdered, he becomes enraged and asks, how can someone kill my worker? He was a good-hearted individual. He raises Jacob's body and leads him inside. He covers his face with a mask. He then performs a ritual. As a result, someone's soul enters Jacob's body. The injured Jacob is now resurrected to exact vengeance on them for his murder. On the other hand, we see Mike's female friend going to the sheriff of the town. She tells him everything, including who killed Jacob and how he was killed. Sheriff says okay after hearing it. I took note of it, but I have yet to receive a report on it. But when Sheriff discovers this, his son was also among those who tortured him, but he didn't believe it. That I am the sheriff and that my son is capable of doing this. He goes straight to the festival's owner. He inquires as to the whereabouts of Jacob. What has become of him? That owner claims that they misinterpreted his death. He had been injured, so I sent her home to rest. That was the truth. We can't count Jacob's death after that owner's action. The sheriff arrives at Jacob's house and knocks. He returns when no one opens the door. Then we see Mike's female friend, and her friend arrives to meet her. He informs her that sheriff has conducted an investigation. He learns that Jacob is still alive. Hearing it, she feels relieved that he is still alive. Then we see the manager who murdered Jacob and Mike. He was telling someone about my fantastic Halloween. For the first time, I had a lot of fun. He then goes to the restroom, where he finds the pumpkin basket. That basket contained the corn candy. He was about to consume it. In the meantime, Jacob arrives. Jacob brutally murders him while tearing his stomach. This means he exacted vengeance on his one murderer. Sheriff arrives and begins his investigation. Candy corn was all over the place. Sheriff learns when he investigates that manager was also among those who tortured Jacob. He becomes suspicious that Jacob did it. Jacob had murdered him. Mike's female friend was also present, along with her best friend. Everything is also revealed by the sheriff. They tell Mike and his friends everything. Mike believes that Jacob would never murder someone. He lacks courage. He could save himself if he had the courage. And perhaps the manager's adversary murdered him. It's not required that it was Jacob. They all agree with him that it could have been their imagination. But as they leave Mike's friend's house, he notices strange movements. As he moves forward, he notices the pumpkin basket. He is taken aback by how it arrived here. Meanwhile, Jacob attacks him in his state of shock. He places him against the wall and uses his hand to pull his spinal cord. He dies as a result of it. On the other hand, we can see that Sheriff was suspicious of Jacob and that these murders were committed by Jacob. He returns to the festival's proprietor. That owner claims that I informed him that he was injured and that I had sent him home to rest. While they were talking, a police officer arrived. He informs Sheriff that Mike has lost another friend. When Sheriff goes there, he discovers corn candy. Sheriff's suspicion had now become fact. He visits Jacob's home. He didn't, however, find Jacob. When he looks under his bed, he discovers an unusual dead body. That was an old corpse. That was Jacob's mother's dead body. However, there was no concern about this dead body from the other murders. The sheriff goes in search of Jacob. He requests that his son Mike remain at home. And don't go outside because your life is in danger. Sheriff halts all city festivals, carnivals, and events. He requests that everyone remain at their homes. When they hear it, they all become enraged. The owner of the festival staff also becomes aggressive with him. That you're concealing something from us. This is because of you. How will we earn? Then one of the men named Bishop meets with the festival's owner. He says that whatever you're doing is fine. Whatever you say, I'll believe it. Yes, that owner says, I'm doing fine. People like us, ordinary people, are constantly tortured. Mike and other wealthy people used to torture us. They are accustomed to doing so, to tease and harm others. In reality, Mike and his friends murdered Jacob. I only bring him back to life so he can exact revenge for his murder. So, do you think it's wrong? This thing is also revealed in front of the owner's staff. They agree to back that owner. He was telling the truth, after all. We must take action against those who torture others. Then we see Mike's female friend and her friend at a location. That girl goes inside for a while, and then comes out. She comes across the dead body of that boy. She couldn't figure out what was going on. Meanwhile, Jacob pursues her. He yanks her tongue out. She also perishes as a result of it. At the same time, the sheriff arrives at the location where the female and her friend were, to ensure that they are in good health. When he goes inside, he finds their dead bodies. He understands everything. Mike is his son's name. He claims that all of your friends have been killed. So don't leave the house. Stay inside because Jacob is about to kill you. However, Mike becomes aggressive. He leaves his house and goes to the carnival, so he can ask the owner what the problem is. But then he faints because of the owner. When the sheriff arrives home, he searches for his son but is unable to locate him. He pulls out a gun and asks, "Where is my son?" But then Bishop appears from behind him and attacks him, making him faint. The owner then proceeds to separate his head from his body with a knife. He dies as a result of it. When Mike opens his eyes, he sees that he is tied to a chair. He has no one around him. He is powerless. Then he notices Sheriff's car approaching from afar. When he sees his father's car, he smiles. That my father comes to my aid. But this was his mistake. His father was not in that car. His gaze was fixed on the car. He was aware that he would be killed as well because his father was not present. Nobody is left after everyone has been killed. Jacob then appears in front of him. He will kill him after torturing him. He takes his arms away from his body. Then he pulls his teeth out one by one. In this manner, he murders him while torturing him. The scene shifts, and we see the festival's owner. He was in another city for his festival. He gives a necklace to a girl there. Mike's teeth were responsible for this. He was discussing Jacob with her. That girl claims I didn't believe her. That is how he resurrects and kills others. So the owner informs her that some people take the lives of others for no reason. Jacob was resurrected to teach them a lesson. Then, in the final scene of the film, we see Jacob sitting in his house. While wearing that disguise, he was also munching on his favorite corn candy. The film concludes here. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.